I was always told to stay away from this city. It doesn't appear on most maps. But the stories all say the same thing. This city is cursed. Massive earthquakes tore through its streets. Then came the fires. Invading armies marched through its gates. And yet, the city rose again. It survived earthquakes, wars, and plagues. To understand why this city refuses to die, we must travel back to where its story began. Long before the world knew its name, this land was empty. No roads, no kingdoms, only silence. Then, the first travelers arrived. They didn't know it yet, but they chose the future of a city. Huts became houses, and houses became a village. Life began to grow, and soon, the village turned into a city. Walls were built to protect what they created. For the first time, it felt unstoppable. But something was already watching. At first, it was just a tremor. Then the ground began to crack. People thought it would stop. It didn't. The city collapsed in seconds. Dust covered everything. But the survivors were still moving, as if the city refused to die. But the survivors refused to abandon their city. They cleared the rubble, one stone at a time. And slowly, they began rebuilding their homes. Soon, the sound of destruction was replaced by the sound of construction. Soon, new buildings rose where ruins once stood. The markets reopened, and life returned to the streets. Against all expectations, the city came back stronger than before. Children once again filled the streets with laughter. But on the horizon, a new danger was already approaching. The city had survived the earthquake. Life seemed normal once more. Then, one night, a small fire appeared. Nobody thought it was dangerous. They were wrong. The wind carried the fire. House after house began to burn. Panic spread faster than the flames. The city gates disappeared behind smoke. The sky turned red. Many believed it would never recover, but they had said that before. And once again, the city prepared to rise from the ashes. When the flames finally died, the city was gone. Most people would have given up. But these people were different. Once again, they chose to stay. And once again, they began rebuilding. The ashes were cleared. New foundations were laid. This time, they built smarter. Wood gave way to stronger materials. Street after street returned. House after house rose from the ruins. The city was breathing again. Shops reopened. Trade returned. The streets filled with life. Children laughed once more. But the city kept growing. Soon, it was larger than before the fire. Richer, stronger, and more alive than ever. They had no idea another disaster was already on its way. The city had never been stronger. Then, a messenger arrived. His news changed everything. An army was approaching, and it was enormous. The city's leaders prepared for the worst. The gates were sealed. Soon, the enemy arrived. The city was surrounded. The siege had begun. Day and night, the defenders watched. Outside the walls, the enemy prepared. Inside the city, supplies were gathered. Fear slowly spread. Then came the first attack. The walls shook under the impact. Families hid from the chaos. Weeks turned into months. But the defenders refused to surrender. The enemy prepared one final assault. Everything came down to this. The defenders made their final stand. But the city fell. Once again, it lay defeated. The survivors refused to give up. Because this city had survived before, and it would survive again. After the war, the city lay in ruins once again. But this time, something unexpected was discovered. Beneath the streets was another city. And beneath that city, another one. The deeper they dug, the more they found. Layer after layer of forgotten civilizations. Entire cities had been buried beneath the city above. Historians could hardly believe what they were seeing. Ancient symbols appeared on walls no one could explain. Some ruins were older than anyone expected. For thousands of years, the same story had repeated. Disaster struck. The city fell, and a new city rose above the ruins. Again and again, this wasn't just a city. It was history rebuilding itself.